one. It's one. A lot more to come. Shout out our fans. Absolutely incredible. Thank you guys for showing up, showing love to all my teammates. We appreciate you. More to come.
The Chicago Sky just learned a painful lesson. Don't make Caitlin Clark wait 7 months to play basketball. After her longest break from organized play, Clark unleashed a historic triple-double that's never been accomplished in a WNBA season opener, leading the Fever to a massive 35-point victory.
They're gonna make this rivalry come back, this manufactured rivalry, which, by the way, you guys, the Indiana Fever beat the Sky by nearly 40 points. They won 93-58.
The Sky's problem? They had no answer for Clark's brilliance, Boston's dominance inside, or the Fever's suffocating defense that held the Sky to an abysmal 29% shooting. Angel Reese might have grabbed 17 rebounds, but her and her team's performance was an absolute disaster from start to finish. The Fever didn't just win, they just announced their arrival as contenders. We'll break down how Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever put Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky in their place on opening night. If you're rocking with the Fever, comment Baby Goat over Baby Giraffe down below. Let's go.
The regular season is here, and we have no more time for flirting, folks. We have no more time. It's time to get serious about our business. And Caitlin Clark handled her business game 1. 20, 10, and 10. 20, 10, and 10. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever, what do the kids say? Belt to ass. Oh, yeah. La cucaracha, la cucaracha. Indiana Fever destroy, obliterate, run out of the gym the Chicago Sky. 93-58.
7 months. That's how long Caitlin Clark had to sit and wait. 7 months since her last professional basketball game. 7 months of hearing critics question whether she could improve in year 2 after her spectacular rookie season. 7 months of Angel Reese running her mouth to anyone who would listen.
Does it feel like it's been an eternity since you played a game that counted, or does it feel now that it's gone by fast?
It feels like it's gone by fast, yeah. Which I didn't know going into the offseason of how exactly it would feel. I feel like just yesterday it was January and I was itching for like this first game. I was like thinking about this moment, and I mean, you think it will take a long time to get there, but it doesn't. If you just, stay consistent in what you do and follow your routines and, you stay busy, it comes pretty fast. But yeah, it didn't feel slow. I feel like this moment has raced up on us.
Think about what that wait must have felt like for someone who's played basketball her entire life. The off-season dragged on while questions mounted about Clark's game. Could she adjust to the physicality? Would she cut down on turnovers? And most importantly, could she lift the Fever to contender status?
I'm excited to play, excited to get out there and play. I think it's different when it's the first one of the season. Like, you just are really amped up to get out there. A little anxiousness, but nothing I haven't experienced before. I think more than anything, just excited. I think once you eventually get in the building and you get here and you get in your routine of preparing for the game, you're pretty locked in. And honestly, I'm ready to go play right now. Forget warm-ups.
The preseason only added to the pressure. Clark showed flashes of brilliance, but also dealt with leg issues that kept her sidelined for parts of it. Critics were circling, ready to pounce if she struggled in her regular season debut. And who was waiting for her in that first game? None other than Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky. But let's be real, only Reese and the media treat this as a rivalry. Clark has no rival.
Rivalry is great for sport. Like, I understand that. I grew up loving rivalries. Like, I grew up in Iowa State. That's like a pro matchup in the state of Iowa. Like, I understand that. Or whether it was my high school team, like, I still hate our rival high school, Valley High School. Sorry, I'm sure there's a lot of people from Valley High School that love me and support me now. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys, but I wasn't your biggest fan. I didn't like the Tigers growing up. So my parents, my grandfather was the football coach growing up, and Valley was our biggest rival. It was the biggest class in Iowa. And I was taught to, growing up, if we were driving by the high school, to hold my breath because I couldn't breathe that air.
From the opening minutes, you could see something different about Clark. Gone was the hesitation that sometimes plagued her rookie season. No more second-guessing or overthinking. She played with a freedom we hadn't seen since her Iowa days, like she was back in college dominating everything in sight. Her first three-pointer splashed through the net. Clean, pure, confident. Then came the no-look passes that left defenders frozen. The rebounds she snatched away from players much taller. The defensive stops that nobody expected from her. This wasn't just Caitlin Clark playing well. This was Caitlin Clark sending a message. By halftime, the Fever led by 19 points. Clark was already flirting with history. 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists during the half. What started as a highly anticipated matchup had transformed into a statement performance that answered every question about Clark's ability to impact the professional game. The second half wasn't about whether the Fever would win. That was already decided. The second half was about history. Could Clark sustain her remarkable all-around game? The answer came in the fourth quarter when she secured her 10th rebound, completing a triple-double with 20 points and 10 assists already in hand. No player in WNBA history had ever recorded a triple-double in a season opener. Not Diana Taurasi, not Candace Parker, not Sue Bird. Caitlin Clark did what none of them could do, and she did it in her first game of her second season. As Clark orchestrated the offense with precision passing and timely scoring, the message became crystal clear. The 7-month wait hadn't dulled her skills. It had sharpened her hunger. She wasn't just back, she was better. And for Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky, that spelled absolute disaster.
More than anything, like as a player, you approach the game the same every single time, or you should. That's how you should approach every single game. You prepare the same way. You come ready to play, whether it's the team that's last in the league or the team that's first in the league. It doesn't matter. I think for the fans, it's great. They love it. And I mean, Chicago is the closest team to us. You know, we bus there usually, so I get it geographically. But I think for our team and our group, it's, you know, we prepare the same way every single game. But I expect today to be an awesome game.
Here's where everyone got it wrong. While we all expected Caitlin Clark to light up the scoreboard, nobody saw the Fever transforming into a defensive monster overnight. Chicago's players stepped onto the court thinking they were ready for a shootout. Instead, they walked straight into a nightmare.
All right, y'all. Hey, good stuff. Okay, we did a lot of really good things. I thought our defense was really good, and when we had lapses, we played through possessions. All right, so we made things happen. Y'all, overall, just hell of an effort.
From the opening tip, the Fever swarmed the Sky like they had 6 defenders on the court. Every shot contested, every passing lane clogged, every drive met with multiple defenders. Chicago players couldn't find any rhythm or space to operate. They looked completely lost.
4 quarters, under 20, holding the team under 20. Steph said it, we were relentless, we played through possessions, but that physicality and that relentlessness, possession after possession, wears on a team. And then that was the entire game. They were feeling us every cut. We were talking, we were communicating, we were flying around, deflections.
At the center of this defensive masterclass stood Aaliyah Boston. She dominated the paint with 5 blocks, tying her career high. What she did to Camila Cardoso, her former South Carolina teammate, was almost unfair. The 6'7" Sky center looked completely overwhelmed, unable to establish any presence inside against Boston's perfect positioning and timing. Boston didn't just defend, she intimidated, altering countless shots that don't show up in the box score. The numbers tell the shocking story of Chicago's offensive meltdown. The Sky shot an abysmal 29.1% from the field. Their three-point shooting was even worse at 22.2%. They couldn't buy a basket. Open looks became rare treasures, and even when they got them, the pressure of the moment seemed too much. Remember Lexi Hull, the player Fever fans love for her grit and hustle? She turned into a defensive menace off the bench. 9 points, 9 rebounds, and endless hustle plays had the crowd chanting her name. Hull threw her body around for loose balls, fought through screens, and disrupted Chicago's offense with pure determination.
Clark in transition. Clark, oh, what a look! And Hull lays it in.
Why couldn't the Sky hit shots despite Reese's rebounding? The Fever's coordinated defensive effort forced Chicago into tough shots all night. Boston and Clark combined for 9 blocks. The Fever didn't just defend individually, they communicated, rotated, and helped each other perfectly. By the fourth quarter, Chicago looked completely broken. They turned the ball over 17 times, many unforced simply because of the pressure. They failed to execute even basic offensive sets against the Fever's relentless defense. What started as a game quickly turned into a statement. The Indiana Fever weren't just Caitlin Clark and a supporting cast. They were a complete team ready to suffocate opponents on the defensive end.
Going to be the biggest news for the next 3 months. So let's talk about Caitlin Clark's hard foul on Angel Reese.
Let's talk about what happened with just under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. That's when the tension that had been building between Clark and Reese finally boiled over in a moment you'll see replayed about 1,000 times this season.
Essentially, Angel Reese gets the ball, Caitlin Clark goes over, does a hard foul, commits a hard foul on Angel Reese. She falls to the ground. After that, Angel Reese gets up. She's feeling super spicy. She's charging at Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is walking away. Aaliyah Boston steps in and kind of stops Angel Reese. Courtney Vandersloot also steps in.
Clark attempted what she later called a simple take foul to stop an easy layup from Angel Reese. Nothing crazy, just a standard basketball play to prevent an easy 2 points. But the officials saw it differently. They went to the monitor, reviewed the play, and upgraded it to a flagrant foul. A decision that immediately sparked controversy among fans, commentators, and even players on the court.
But when you really watch the replay, something feels off. Angel came charging in like she wanted smoke, like she was ready to throw down. But here's the thing. If she really wanted to confront Caitlin, what was stopping her? Nothing. That reaction, the body language, it felt forced. Like she was putting on a performance. Fake tough, fake angry.
The cameras caught every heated second of what followed. Reese immediately turned toward Clark, her teammates stepping between them as words were exchanged. Then Aaliyah Boston rushed to Clark's defense, getting right in the middle of the situation. What stood out most? Clark simply walking away to de-escalate while Reese kept talking. The officials handed out technical fouls to both Reese and Boston for their part in the confrontation.
And let's be honest, from that moment on, Angel Reese disappeared. Her impact on the game, gone. Caitlin, she was in her zone. It's like Clark didn't just eat the foul, she took over the moment, mentally and physically. So now the big question is, was that fire from Reese real or just for show?
Here's where it gets interesting. The Fever didn't just defend Clark verbally, they responded on the scoreboard. After that flagrant foul call, Indiana went on a devastating 12-2 run that absolutely broke the game wide open. It was like the confrontation flipped a switch, and the Fever played with even more intensity.
Nasty, back-to-back quarters with 13 points. Couldn't even get a quarter over 18 points. Oh, Chicago Sky, I had you overrated. Oh, how I overestimated what I would see from the Chicago Sky. The Indiana Fever took care of business today.
But amid all the drama between Clark and Reese, something truly historic happened that didn't get nearly enough attention. DeWanna Bonner hit 2 free throws that moved her into 3rd place on the WNBA's all-time scoring list. Think about that. While everyone focused on the rivalry, a legitimate legend was quietly making history right before our eyes.
And the second free throw to Passer. And DeWanna Bonner sits alone in 3rd place.
The contrast couldn't be more stark. While social media exploded with Clark-Reese rivalry clips, the Fever celebrated Bonner's incredible achievement as a team. The way they rallied around her showed their growing chemistry and respect for the game's history. That right there tells you everything you need to know about the difference between Clark and Reese. One player tried to make it personal. The other made it about the team and made history in the process.
We wanted to open out the season, start off the season, letting everybody know this is a new team and we have one goal. Did we play our best game today? I would say we didn't. The fact that we didn't play our best game and we still destroyed the Chicago Sky, gotta feel good about that. No Sophie Cunningham in the lineup. Arguably the first person coming off the bench for us, not arguably, most likely the first person coming off the bench for us, no Sophie Cunningham, and we destroyed the Chicago Sky.
When that final buzzer sounded and the scoreboard showed a 35-point blowout, social media absolutely exploded. Fans couldn't believe what they just witnessed. The Fever didn't just win, they demolished the Sky in every possible way. Twitter flooded with clips of Clark's no-look passes that seemed impossible, and Boston's blocks that sent Sky players' shots into the third row. The contrast was striking. While Fever fans celebrated a historic night, Sky supporters who expected Angel Reese to make some kind of statement sat in stunned silence. The supposed rivalry turned into a one-sided beatdown that nobody saw coming.
Let's look at these box scores really quick. So Aaliyah Boston, 19 points, 13 rebounds. DB, 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. So DeWanna Bonner also just moved up to number 3 on the WNBA's all-time leading scorers list. And that was actually probably my favorite part of the entire game. Like, that was such a cool moment. She stayed in a little bit later in the fourth quarter when they didn't need her anymore. They were up 30 points, but I was so happy that she got that moment. She hit 2 clutch free throws. Now she is number 3. That's such a huge accomplishment, and I'm glad that DB is getting her flowers. Natasha Howard, 15 points, 5 rebounds. Kelsey Mitchell, 15 points. Caitlin Clark recorded a triple-double, 20 points, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds.
Clark's post-game press conference showed exactly why fans love her. No trash talk, no fuel for the rivalry narrative that others try to create. Instead, she focused on what actually mattered. "I thought we were disruptive," she said, highlighting the team's defensive improvements. She made sure to praise DeWanna Bonner's historic achievement of moving into 3rd place on the WNBA's all-time scoring list, calling her the strongest voice in our locker room.
I thought we were disruptive. I thought we came with a level of physicality. Anytime you can keep a team in this league to under 20 points in quarters, that's important. They didn't get a lot of clean catch and looks. Look, it wasn't perfect, but we played through our deficiencies. We played through our lapses in coverage. We played through mismatches, and we played with multiple levels of effort, and that's what it takes.
Inside the Fever locker room, cameras captured the pure joy that had been building for 7 months. Veterans embraced rookies. Coach White delivered an emotional speech about setting a new standard for the team. This wasn't just happiness after winning a game. This was a team realizing they could be something special.
DB, congratulations. CC triple double. AB double double. Let's see Premier double double now.
Meanwhile, Chicago's post-game scene couldn't have been more different. Angel Reese kept her comments about the flagrant foul brief, simply saying, "Basketball play, refs got it right, let's move on." Her teammates looked completely shell-shocked by the margin of defeat, struggling to explain how a supposed statement game turned into such a disaster. Clark herself seemed to understand the team was still building. "I think we're still finding our chemistry together," she admitted. "But we just have so many weapons, and that's what's so fun." That statement might terrify the rest of the league. The Fever won by 35 while still developing their chemistry.
But what does a game like this say to the rest of the league? How does it set up for the season?
Yeah, I think we're just focused on ourselves. You prepare every single night. I think that's the great thing about this league. And also, you play and then you have a day and then you play again, and then you have a day and you play again. You have to be able to flush things really fast. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. You just got to stay right in the middle. So that's going to be the challenge for our group. Build from it, appreciate how we came out here and really played and competed tonight. But also, I felt like, I know we put up 93 points and still won by 30, but I felt like there was a lot of ways for us to still improve. And that's what's exciting too. And I think everybody's still hungry to go back to work and get better.
This wasn't a team hoping to improve anymore. This was a team that now expected to win. The Indiana Fever weren't just back. They had arrived as legitimate contenders. And Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky? They were just the first victims in what could be a special season in Indiana. The Fever didn't just win a game, they announced their arrival as contenders to the entire WNBA. A historic 35-point victory that featured Clark's never-before-seen triple-double in a season opener, Boston's shot-blocking clinic, and a defense that made Chicago look completely lost. Angel Reese and the Sky walked away with nothing but questions and a brutal defeat. All those trash-talking comments now seem hollow after getting thoroughly outplayed in every aspect of the game. The 7-month wait is officially over. The Indiana Fever are back, and they're better than ever. This wasn't just an opening night win. This was the first chapter of what looks like the most exciting season in Fever history. If you're rocking with the Fever, comment Baby Goat over Baby Giraffe down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.